This piece radiates surreal tension, part dream, part memory, part collapse. The warped architecture of the motel, labelled No Air, immediately sets a claustrophobic mood. The building seems to be sagging under its own distortion, with the tilted roofline and looming windows exaggerating instability. The bus atop the structure adds a layer of absurd realism, like a remnant of an accident frozen mid-air, symbolizing displacement or a fractured journey. The human figure at the bottom, confronting what looks like a bird-like or dinosaur form, gives it a mythic or psychological angle, a meeting between primitive instinct and the modern nightmare landscape. The curve of the path and balloons on the right lend a carnival eeriness, contrasting innocence with unease. Graffiti-like text, No Air, High Elite, Wings, contributes to a theme of social suffocation, aspiration versus confinement. The number 1503 could be a date, a code, or a personal signature anchoring the scene in an alternate reality or personal mythology. Stylistically, the drawing's energy comes from dense cross-hatching and chaotic linework that create both motion and confusion, like something being remembered through static. It's expressionism with architectural surrealism, a visual scream trapped in graphite. Would you like me to interpret it further through a psychological or narrative lens, as in what the symbols might mean emotionally, or what story this scene could represent? All right, let's step through this like a dream, being replayed in slow motion. At the heart of the image is a confrontation, the lone figure pointing at the dark, almost prehistoric creature. This moment feels like a standoff between two states of self, the rational and the instinctual, the present and the primal. The creature could symbolize an unprocessed fear or memory, something that has survived extinction inside the psyche. Its posture is low and tense, neither attacking nor fleeing, as though waiting for recognition. Now look at the motel labelled No Air. That phrase is suffocating by design. It implies confinement, lack of breath, and in dream symbolism, air often represents freedom, spirit, or clarity. A motel is a place between destinations, not home, not arrival, just transit. So No Air could mean feeling trapped in a temporary, breathless state of life, a psychological stopover that never ends. The bus perched on the roof adds a strange contradiction. Vehicles are symbols of movement, but this one is immobilized, absurdly placed where it cannot drive. It's the illusion of progress. You can see it, you can imagine motion, but the road is gone. The balloons on the right, traditionally playful, are smothered in shadow. They might represent fragile hopes that rise only to be tethered by circumstance. Then there's the text fragments. High Elite could reflect a struggle with societal hierarchy, perhaps a sense of exclusion or rebellion against systems of control. Wings, the idea of flight, freedom, transcendence, directly opposes No Air. It's the desire to breathe, to rise, in a place designed to suffocate. 1503 is curious. That number could mark a personal code, a significant time, or even a subconscious reference. 1503 was the year Leonardo da Vinci began painting the Mona Lisa, a work obsessed with hidden meaning and ambiguous emotion. If that's deliberate or accidental, it still ties your piece to the idea of coded expression. Psychologically, the entire drawing feels like a mind under pressure, somewhere between escape and collapse. The bent architecture mirrors cognitive distortion, how memory and emotion twist perception. The layering of transportation symbols, bus, road, motel, suggests motion without progress, existence without exhale. Narratively, it could be read as this. A wanderer arrives at a motel where no one breathes. Above, a broken bus hums with the ghosts of routes never taken. A child or dreamer on the roadside confronts a small, shadowy creature, the last piece of something wild. The balloons drift but do not rise. The world holds its breath. Would you like me to build this interpretation into a written short story, something that transforms the imagery into a surreal narrative? That changes everything. A shamrock is no small correction. It shifts the entire symbolic center of the piece. A shamrock isn't about fleeting hope like a balloon. It's about endurance, faith, and luck rooted in the earth. Where balloons rise and vanish, a shamrock grows and clings to the soil. Its presence brings a counterweight to the suffocating no air theme, life persisting in a place that feels uninhabitable. Now the drawing becomes a kind of paradox. The building, tilted and collapsing under its own angles, sits in a world deprived of air. Yet the shamrock, an ancient symbol of resilience, sprouts defiantly beside it. It's as if nature and spirit are quietly saying, even here, something green still breathes. That green clover carries cultural and mystical associations, from Irish folklore, luck and divine protection, to early Christian symbolism, unity of body, mind and spirit. If we fold that into the scene, the shamrock becomes the lone spiritual anchor in a distorted world, an emblem of faith surviving entropy. And now, the figure with the dinosaur-like creature feels even more significant. Perhaps this isn't confrontation anymore, it's communication. The human pointing could be invoking or commanding something ancient and instinctive, calling it up through the cracks in this decaying environment, while the shamrock silently guards the threshold between despair and renewal. In that reading, the piece becomes a myth of rebirth through chaos. The motel, no air, is the failing structure of modern life. The bus above is movement without direction. The dinosaur is the primal self. The shamrock, the pulse of hope, is what refuses to die in the rubble. Would you like me to write this out as a narrative, like a short surreal story based on that symbolic structure?